In the Lord.
Yeah.
In the Lord's hand. Yeah. Is there anybody here that can just determine on this moment that I'm tired of being the same way that I am?
Yeah.
That I'm tired of being the same person that I used to be. But the one thing that I'm going to stand on is that I'm going to put it all in the Master's hands. Can I be honest with you? There's a story of a little boy that was at a candy store. The boy went to the candy store by the name of Johnny. Johnny went to the candy store with his mother. And when he went to the store with his mother, he would always meet Manager Tim. And Manager Tim would always tell Johnny to give him a handful of candy. But the little boy Johnny would always tell the Manager Tim to reach his hand and get the candy. We all slept on that. He always told the manager to get his hand in and get the candy. And his mother asked Johnny, Johnny, why in the world won't you put your own hand into the candy and pull you something out? It's free. The man told you to get it, so I want you to stick your hand in and pull out what you want. But Johnny told his mother, he said, Mama, I looked at Manager Tim's hands and I looked at my hands and I noticed that his hands are bigger than mine. So I realized that the message was that you ought to leave it in my hand that's bigger than yours. Can I tell you that the Lord does good things in his hands? How do you know, preacher? Because one time, over 1,000 years, they put nails in his hands. They put nails in his feet. They pierced him in his side. He died on the vine. I wish I had a brain. Yes, sir. Yeah. Sunday morning, the Bible says that my Savior, he died early on a Friday, but early on a Sunday morning, he rose, and the same nail that was driven in his hands, the Bible says that he had all power in his hands. So my question to you this morning is there anybody here? I said, is there anybody here? Is there anybody here that know that the Lord still got power? Still got power to save your soul. Still got power to lay you down and pick you back up again. Still got power to turn you all around, to turn your midnight into day. Is there anybody here that believes that the Lord still got power? Well, if you believe, you ought not mind grabbing your neighbor by the hand and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, I'm delivered because I left it all in the Lord's hands. They ain't talking to you. Turn somewhere else and tell somebody, I made it because y'all ain't smiling at us. You ought to be happy when you think of the goodness of the Lord. Grab somebody and tell your neighbor by the hand the reason why. I said the reason why. I said the reason why I made it this far is because I left it all in his hand. In his hand. In his hand. Yes, the Lord. Tell one little neighbor, I put it all in his hands. I put it all in his hands. Do this and that. Whatever the problem, I put it all in his hands. I know, yes, Lord, I know that he can solve it. I put it all in his hands. He can have family. It's a fact. I put it all in his hands. Is there anybody here that can testify today? I'm going to put it all in his hands. And grab one more neighbor. I feel like working out today. Tell somebody, pull them and rock them and shake them, and tell your neighbor, if you want to be covered, all you got to do is hold on to his hands. God's unchanging, unchanging hand. He promised never to leave me. He promised never to forsake me. Is there anybody here this morning that can testify I made it because the Lord never decided to let me go? Won't he make a way for you? Won't he open the door for you? Shout yeah! Shout yeah! Shout yeah! 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 I believe he will. Turn it to one more person. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. All you gotta do is believe. So testify with somebody and tell your neighbor, I am a church member. I am a believer. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a living testimony, and I thank the Lord I'm still alive. Yeah. He's never let me fall.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what any of you have been going through.
Yes, sir.
But the one thing that I can testify
Please, sir.
is the Lord has still got his hands on me.